I've learned a lot since I started doing Social Security disability exams in 2017, and some of the things I've learned have surprised me. And one of the surprises is that routinely people leave out disabling conditions that would help their disability application. Hello, I'm John Foster. I'm a medical doctor who does Social Security disability exams, and as usual, everything I say reflects my own opinions based on my own experience and study, and not the opinions of the Social Security Administration or any other medical body. Now, when I say people leave things out, I mean that they don't write about them when they fill out Form SSA-3373, which is called Function Report Adult, which is where the person is supposed to describe all their disabilities and limitations. And also when they come to see me for a consultative examination, and I ask them to tell me about the problems they've got that are making them disabled, they leave things out or forget them. How do I know this? Because I do a complete head-to-toe exam on everyone I see. If a person tells me they're disabled because of problems with their back and knees, I don't just check their back and knees. I check their eyes, their ears, their throat, their heart, their nervous system, etc., etc. And I always find at least one person who's got a limitation that they didn't think to mention. That's why I'm making this video. As you know, in a disability claim, usually Social Security will look at all the problems a person has that limits their ability to work and then make a decision on whether they consider that person disabled or not. So it's very important to not leave any disabling problem out. Here are the common problems that I see that people forget about or don't mention. The first is shoulder problems. And the last day I did a disability exam, I had a man who couldn't lift his right arm above shoulder height, but hadn't mentioned it. That's very significant because one of the things Social Security wants to know and considers important is, can the person work overhead with both arms? If you can't lift your arm above shoulder height, you can't work overhead. The next problem that I see are problems with the hands and fingers. And often this is an old injury that didn't heal up well, and the person has just gotten used to it and doesn't think about it anymore. Again, the last day I did a day of disability exams, I had a person who'd broken one of their fingers, and the joint would not straighten. The finger was permanently crooked. Not a big problem, but that is a work-related limitation. Another thing I see is people who've had partial amputations. They've lost the tip of the finger or a knuckle or two of the finger, and they've totally forgotten about it. Another work-related limitation. Another common thing that I see is people who have some sort of problem walking. You'd think that people would realize that was a disability, but often they don't. Another thing is trouble hearing, either deafness in one ear and preserved hearing in the other, or hard of hearing. I had one poor fellow who could only hear and understand me if I really hollered at him. At the end of the exam, I was hoarse from yelling, and he'd never mentioned that. I was sure to put that in my report to Social Security. Another thing, and again something I saw the last day I did disability exams, is balance problems. Not severe balance problems where the person can't even stand up, but enough that the person couldn't work on a ladder, on a scaffold, on a roof, on a boat, and maybe near dangerous machinery. All things Social Security considers work-related limitations. The final thing that I see regularly that people forget to mention is partial loss of sensation in the hands or feet. And again, the last day I did disability exams, I saw somebody who had what's called cubital tunnel syndrome, and they lost sensation in the little finger and half of the ring finger in both hands, their right and their left hand. Again, not a huge disability, but something that counts, and these little disabilities can add up. So before you fill out Form SSA-3373, think about your whole body from head to toe, and be sure to put down any limitations that you have. And if you're scheduled for a consultative examination, go over your whole body again so you don't leave any limitations out. Well, I hope this has been helpful. If it has, it would be nice if you liked and subscribed to the channel. And as always, remember, if it happens, it's possible.